of you here were castigating me. Oh, who are Kikuyus? Why do we have Kikuyus? Why do you talk about Kikuyus? I told you guys I'm from Kisii, but based on my analysis, in this country, there's nobody that will run this country as a president without having Kikuyus on board. Now, how many cabinet secretaries has William Ruto been forced to appoint, or top officials he has been forced to appoint in his government to make sure to at least try to cool down the temperatures in the mountain? Why doesn't he just want to decide and assume that there's nothing happening in the mountain and then just run the government because he has Raila Amolo Odinga, Luo Nyanza? So why doesn't he assume? Why isn't he assuming? Why isn't he assuming that there's nothing going on? We cannot run this country without Kikuyu because they have the blueprint of the Kenya's independence. We have to accept that. As others were getting stories that the Mau Mau were fighting, the Kikuyus were the Mau Mau themselves. Then for me, one Kisii was a Mau Mau, not even one. Okay? So the fact remains that nobody can run this country without Kikuyus. So William Ruto made a huge mistake to get rid of Rigathi Gachagua, and now Rigathi Gachagua is going to castrate his removal. Unless William Ruto decides today to go for Rigathi Gachagua and reconcile with him. From there now we can say it is tough. But before Rigathi Gachagua on board, ni kunoma. Uhuru Kenyatta has already put himself in certain position that is not good. I don't want to talk about him that much because probably so a giraffe when it comes to calculating his moves anakuanga kivyake poa. But the fact remains that in this country, whoever wants to run in, you must put the Kikuyus in mind. They could either be youths, or even be the people from that region. But we must have Kikuyus on board. We must have Kikuyus on board. That is the only way you can be able to suffer, because these guys politically, they have the blueprint to success. Their liveliness in politics cannot be overruled by any of these leaders. In our era right now, I want to say that the toughest leader we've had is William Ruto. Someone who cannot blink even if Kenyans are being shot right at the parliament buildings, the whole world watching. Is the toughest leader we've had. Shrewd one. He can just watch you die as long as he's in power, he doesn't care. Therefore, you cannot tell me that there's anybody stronger than William Ruto as we speak right now in terms of the mentality on how to handle the country. As we speak today, he was forced to go to Uhuru Kenyatta even after having Raila Amolo Odinga. You know, Raila Amolo Odinga is a force on his side. But Raila Amolo Odinga is always brought on board tactfully. Not any time. Bringing of Raila Amolo Odinga into government, he realized that it is not enough until you go for Uhuru Kenyatta and go for his people. It's not enough. So therefore, whoever who wants to run this country, because of the kind of role these people have played in our political terrain, we cannot rule them out. And instead of you guys coming and telling us who are Kikuyus, oh, what have you done? Tell us, oh, show us why Oginga Odinga is not the president. Odinga gave Kenyatta the presidency himself. Nobody asked him to. Mbona kukuwa rais? In the entire political history of Kenya, we've always had Kikuyus play a central role. Who are you to eliminate them now and say, stay aside? Stay aside and let us run this country. That's why I tell you guys that Junet Mohammed did a big mistake by telling Mutahi Kagwe right in Mongori, where I learned, my former school, that this time around we are going to take over. Now you guys kaa kando mmekula sana. In his own words, you guys can visit Junet at Mongori High School, MWONGORI. That's when you can know that in this country nobody can run without Kikuyus. Now Mutahi Kagwe is in government. Where's Junet Mohammed? Of course, he's partially in government as well, but who has more power? You know? Yeah, who has more power? So in real sense, we have to agree here that Kikuyus are the persons who are running this country when it comes to the political terrain. When you start classifying on the billionaires who have money to splash on politics, do you go to Kisumu? Which billionaire is there to come and fund political activities here? None of them. Even Raila had to go for Wanjigi. And who is Wanjigi? A Kikuyu. Excuse me? Even funding the billionaires of Central Kenya are the ones who know the importance of funding political activities in the country. They can fund political leaders because they know what they're looking for. All these others, they even don't know what is happening. Others just want to be funded. Others just want to be funded. Therefore, I just want to state it here categorically that in this country, you cannot run without Kikuyus. Whether you like it or not, we must respect these people. Instead of you guys come and bashing each other here and there, why can't you sit down with your committee? Like me now, I'm going to get mine tuanze kujifunza mambo ya Kikuyu mbili tatu. Sit down and learn from the Kikuyus. Know that whenever they decide to vote, they vote. Whenever they decide to go to this side, they go as a team. When others are wrangling each other, they are reconciling themselves. Gachagua immediately, Uhuru Kenyatta was beaten right, left and center. He went for Uhuru Kenyatta. And that's the game that is always played by Kikuyus. They don't fight each other. Those ones that have been used by Ruto, they are suffering. Probably let Kimani Ichung'wah. Right now, if we had elections today and Kimani Ichung'wah goes for MP seat, he won't get it. Despite bringing money under there. Let me tell you, Kikuyus have the power fulani to being able to see that this person is playing with us. He's not serious. He's not a good leader. He's not able to lead us. He cannot take us somewhere. They know. Na ukiwa na kiburi, cheza na Wakikuyu wanakupiga nyumbani hata kama wewe ni wao. Hapo ndio ilifika yangu. Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa na kiburi at some point. Kimani Ichung'wah hata Gachagua at some point but ali tone down, akajua hapa ni kubaya. Uwezi leta kiburi kwa Wakikuyu hata kama wewe ni wao. Be humble, focus. In 2013, we had so many governors that were elected, including Kabogo himself. The moment I developed kiburi, aligongwa nje. Kabogo was a performer. He organized the county. The first governors of this country did their best. And Kabogo was one of them. Despite having all that popularity in the country, because everyone knew he was going to be the kingpin of Mount Kenya, Kabogo was put aside by electorate. He was not even given the Jubilee ticket because the people of Kiambu had decided there's no Kabogo here. He was abusing people here, right, left, and center. He was not making some roads, and then being asked, he says that, gari yangu ni kubwa. I had something of that kind. He had big cars, so people could not, did not fill the potholes. So in short, Kikuyus, they know what to do. There's no governor who went back in 2013, now 2017, except Mwangi wa Iria. And Mwangi wa Iria was humble and a performer. When you compare other governors, not that he did so well, but I'm saying he was better than most of these governors. Only one who was gone for 2 terms. Now Anne Waiguru. Now Anne Waiguru has gone for the 2nd term. I don't know any other who has gone for the 2nd term, to be honest. Sijaona mwingine mwenye ameenda 2 terms. If you start with Nyeri, Laikipia, Murang'a, Kiambu, Nyandarua, Nakuru, so long as you have something that they don't like, nje. At some point I know there's a wave in inaweza kuja, but hiyo wave inaweza kuja based on their decision making that this is the direction for us to go. Learn from Kikuyus, don't condemn them.